Hi friends, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. Today I just have something I want to show you that I have added to my shop. If you're expecting this video to be the bird stuffed ephemera bag video that I promised this week, the reason why it is not up right now is because that video is actually going to be a sponsored video. It is totally filmed and it is awaiting the green light from my sponsor. And as soon as I get that green light, I will make it public. It's private up on YouTube right now, so that should be just any time now. And I can't wait for you guys to see that. It's just awaiting that AOK email. All right, so what I've come up with are some curated paper pads. And what I've done is made a couple different themes. Well, 4 different themes. So we'll start with Christmas. So since Christmas is coming up, I did a Christmas paper pad. And so there are 20 pages. There's 10 papers and 10 actual book pages. The papers can be a combination of either printed on my own printer or from like scrapbook paper that I have. And then the book pages are all, various book pages. So here's an example. What I've done is punched 2 holes through all the papers. This allows you to just pull the ribbon out and then you have the really cute punched holes. I love that effect for junk journals. Or you can rip it out, which gives a really cool look as well. So I'm going to just tie this back up and flip through quickly. I think that they look really cute. There's no wasted packaging. You can pull out the ribbon or lace and use that as well. So this is just an example of what you'd get for Christmas, but here's from a vintage Christmas book. It's how to make a Swedish Christmas bird, and then a paper angel on the other side. Here's pink and gold Merry Christmas. I got this from Pixel Scrapper, and I just think this is really cute. So when I curated all these pages, I had you guys in mind. It was something I would use. So this I think is perfect for a background page, for backing journaling cards, things like that, because it says Merry Christmas over and over again. It's also wonderful for like a cover. And you can add like a Santa image or an angel or something to the front, and you can still read the Merry Christmas all around it. Yours may or may not contain this paper. Each one is slightly different, but I'm just kind of explaining this set. Then here is an adorable book page from a vintage, I think it's 60s children's Christmas book. This is the little gingerbread man, and I love the Santa, and it's incredible, you guys. And then on the other side, it's The Good Ship, The Merry Christmas, and it's Santa in a ship. Here's another page. I thought it was very vintage. I got this one from Pixabay. Very Merry Christmas, and I love like the vintage backing. Just thought that would be a really nice page in a journal. This is from an 80s, I think it's a 1980s like children's dictionary, and this one has Christmas and church, plus a whole bunch of other cute ones on the other side. This is also from Pixel Scrapper. I love the poinsettias, so pretty. Oh, and what do you think of my new printer that prints borderless? That printer gives me a run for my money. It keeps like stopping working and I have to like figure it out and fix it, but when it does work, how awesome is that? It's like hard to tell what's scrapbook paper and what's digital paper. This is a vintage, I think it's a 50s children's music book, and this is Christmas bells and a little Christmas poem. This is also from Pixabay, and I'm telling you where they're from too, so like if you're really digitally savvy, you could maybe find it. Anyway, so I thought this one was really pretty. Love the snowflakes. The Tree That Trimmed Itself. Here's a book page from the 60s, I believe. And then that's more of the story. Look at that little squirrel. Oh, you guys, so cute. So this is from the Old Design Shop, and it's Christmas greetings from me and mine to you and yours. It's like a vintage greeting card, and I printed 9 of them to this page because I thought that if you were making journals as gifts this Christmas, that you could cut them out and stick them in pockets, stuff like that. So that was my thought behind this page. And then here we have a segmented paper bell. It's from this same book, but this is a bell. And then on the other side, it's a 6-pointed paper star, if you can see that. This is also from the Old Design Shop, and these are Christmas calling cards, and it's the blank version. So you can put your own name in them or a little Christmas message. And then this is from, I think this is a 40s, 50s, 60s, somewhere in there, but it is a storybook. This is December 23rd, and on the other side is 24th. This is Don't You Peek, and Stocking for a Baby. This is one of my favorite papers in here. This is also from Pixel Scrapper, and when it prints borderless, I think it is incredible. It looks like wrapping paper to me. So pretty. This is so cute, little vintage children's book page. So the bear wrapped up again in his red coat, his fur hat, his muffler, his mittens. This time he added his overshoes. Anyway, there's snowing, there's a squirrel, there's a bird. Look at this one, the bear with the snowflakes. And then I added this one. I found it on Pixabay because it was so bright and cheery, and my Christmas heart just wanted to back journal cards with it. That's why I put it in here. I thought it would add a touch of color. I also think this would be great coffee dyed because if you look at how bright white the background is, you could leave it bright and cheery, or you could coffee dye it and add an incredible vintage look. This is from a book page on snowflakes. So these are actual photos of snowflakes. How incredible is that? And then there's a big one on the back. So you have to choose whether you want to cut out all these little ones or whether you want to use the big one or just fold it in half and use it as a page in your book. This was from Pixabay as well, and it's like these beautiful snowflakes. And then there is a 1960s Highlights for Children magazine. This one was a December. Little boy and Santa there, and then on the back there's like a hidden pictures, and it's like these adorable forest animals. And then this is I think this one is from Pixel Scrapper, but it's these really pretty burgundy bows. So like I said, you may get the first person to purchase it. Well, I don't want to say the first person because I don't always fill them in order, but someone will get this actual set, and I just talked through my thoughts on it. But if you order after that, it will be just as lovingly curated, just as much thought going into the pages and how you can use them. So there's Christmas. So I think that one is super fun. And then I have children. This theme is children. I just tied it with some pink rickrack. I thought that was super cute. So here's a little children's book. I just bought this past week, and the illustrations were just too adorable. So here's a little mouse riding on the back of an owl. And then on this side, it's Ting-a-Ling and the Five Magicians, and there's like a butterfly image there. And so then we've got some really pretty polka dot scrapbook paper. This is super heavy, so you could make a cover out of it. Here's a 1950s. This is a Robert Louis Stevenson poem, Where Go the Boats? And then on the other side, you have the poem, The Cloud. And then this paper I'm really proud of. I think it is just so cute. It is an old design shop image, and this is for the school days, and this is like an old catalog image. I want to say really proud of. It's kind of an exaggeration, but anyway, what I saw something when I looked at it. I knew I wanted to add like a floral in here, so I used Digital Curio Floral Bouquet, and I just put it here in the corner, and I think it makes such a beautiful page. And then here's a little vintage book page. It says Heidi, and then there's, you know, some of the story on the back. Here's a bright and colorful striped page. Again, this one is really heavy, good for a cover. I think it's I want to say 80s. I could be wrong, but it's like an ABC type book. And then some alphabet scrapbook paper. This is from the story, The Velveteen Rabbit. It's a vintage. I got to show you this picture because look at that. How cute is that? And you could cut this out and turn it into a journal card, back it with coffee dyed paper. This is so bright and colorful, and these clouds are all glittered. So I love this piece of scrapbook paper. And then this is also from the old design shop. This is a Kate Greenaway picture that she cleaned up really well, and it prints beautifully large. And I thought folding this in half and putting it in a journal would be delightful, because when you fold it in half, it's going to like separate the two of them. So you have kind of this set on one side and this set on another side. I thought it was just gorgeous. Again, this would look absolutely beautiful coffee dyed. Spray a little bit of coffee or ink on it. So here's from a teddy bear book, and this is Mr. Jolly Boy, and then on the back there is Arthur Van Gelden. Thought those were so cute. Another bright, colorful page there. And then look at that little boy and his pet pig from a vintage children's book. I just thought that was too cute. I think these look like gumdrops. I don't know if that's what they're supposed to be, but they're super, super cute. Here's from a Raggedy Ann and Andy book. This is The Magical Boat. And then this is from Pixel Scrapper, and it's kind of like a vintage handprint look. And I thought that was adorable for any kind of children's journal, because I love the beiges in the background. And then we have a little Thumbelina illustration from a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. The little toad, and there's Thumbelina all tucked up in her walnut bed. And then just a really pretty polka dot. And down here it says, discover, adventure, wild, free, love, escape, things like that. And then we do back it with a vintage highlights magazine page for wee folks. And I'll show you the other side to that, which is actually a St. Patrick's Day cute little background. So this is the thought that went into, the type of thought that would go into a children's pack. And then we have nature, one of my favorites. So here's my thoughts behind all of this. This book I've been working on cutting up and using up. I don't know if you've seen me use any of these. To me, they look like little seed packets. I've been using them in journals, and I wanted you guys to have some of them because they're so amazing. There's some on the back too. And what's really neat is they're printed, so when you cut it out, it's like, at least for some of them, like, well, I guess it's just this one for this one, but you get one on each side. Here's a really pretty butterfly and dragonfly paper that I found on Pixabay. And then this book has a little, look at that woodpecker. That's what sold me on using this page. So delicate and pretty. I just love the drawing. And on this side, it's the palmetto trees right there. This was also Pixabay, and it's like a Japanese watercolor with a bird, a vintage one. So pretty. This is from my new Audubon book, and this is the Rufous Hummingbird. Look at the gorgeousness of this page. This page definitely wants to be like full spread in a junk journal, and so I put it in here for you guys. And then this one I got off of Pixabay as well. Little bird sitting there, and this would be fun to splatter with some inks or coffee dye because it's all bright white in here. Or if you wanted a brighter white, that would work. And this is a beautiful animal nature book, vintage. There's a little, there's an ape on this side, so I think this side's a little prettier. Then we have some K & Company paper that's double-sided. And then this is from a book on like rainforest nature, and I thought it was just, that moth was so gorgeous, so I had to add that. More double-sided. And then this is a garden diary book. So pretty. Love this. And then some heavy scrapbook paper. Some more book pages. Look at this butterfly. Look at how gorgeous that is. This was from Pixabay. I thought it was so gorgeous. Again, would be beautiful coffee dyed. Another floral. This is plants you definitely want to consider. It's a floral book, and it has really pretty images. And another scrapbook paper. There's a little bit of gold foiling on that one. This is so, oh, I love this. On this side, it's got birds. It's actually from a bird book. And then there's this one, has nature theme, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience by Emerson. And there's gold foiling. This is from an herbal book. Really pretty. And then this is also gold foiled. So there's the nature one. And then this one is called Random. You don't know what you're going to get. It's random. But we have, this is from a How to Paint book. I think it's from the 80s. Really cute. And then we've got some Graphic 45 paper. This is about a train. I think this is also Graphic 45. This is like from a, this is super heavy. It's from like a stencil book. You're supposed to cut it out and use it as a stencil. I like to just fold them in half and put them in my journals. Here's scrapbook paper. There's like Big Ben, a vintage 1950s dictionary page. I love that little ship on there. Some more double-sided scrapbook paper. Vintage recipes. These are like apple recipes. Scrapbook paper, double-sided. This is kind of like a gardening page. So cute. Look at this. These houses. I think this might also be Graphic 45. I think it is. Thoughts of Main Street. This is from an Ideals magazine. And then some globes. Vintage music. This is Come Dance With Me. More scrapbook paper. So the random ones could be anything, but they're definitely leaning toward just the eclectic vintage. There's a few other things thrown in there, but for the most part, like here's light bulbs and from a vintage book about machines. And this is also Graphic 45. So I hope that you guys like these. I think they're just great to add to your paper pads and really give you that variety that the vintage artist wants to use, because I love buying paper pads, and as you can see, some of the pieces are in here from paper pads that I've had, but sometimes you only want some of them and you want to incorporate it with a bunch of other things and really get a good variety, a good bang for your buck. So I hope that you enjoy these.